Here's a quick question before we start. On a scale of 1 to 10, how smart do you think you are compared to the average person? Pick a number in your head because statistically, half of you are wrong, and the people most wrong are usually the ones who just felt the most confident. This isn't an insult, it's a scientifically documented psychological effect with decades of research behind it. And the whole story begins with a man named MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed 2 banks in broad daylight. No mask, no disguise, walking straight past security cameras with a smile, because he genuinely believed that rubbing lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras, the same way lemon juice is used to write invisible ink. He'd even tested it himself, taking a Polaroid photo after applying the juice, and somehow, for reasons still unclear, he didn't show up clearly in that photo, and that was all the proof he needed. When police showed him the security footage, he was genuinely stunned, insisting, "But I wore the juice." 2 psychologists at Cornell, David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger, heard this story and asked a much deeper question. What if the same mental process that makes someone bad at a task is the exact same process that prevents them from realizing they're bad at it? To test this, they gave people tests on grammar, logic, and humor, then asked each person to rate their own performance. And the results are almost poetic. The people who score in the bottom 25% massively overestimated themselves, believing they'd outperformed roughly 2/3 of everyone else, while the actual top performers slightly underestimated their own scores. The real mechanism behind this is that competence and self-awareness are literally the same skill. To recognize that you're bad at something, you need the very expertise you're lacking, which means incompetence hides itself from the person experiencing it, like a blind spot that conceals its own existence. And here's where most people get this topic wrong. That popular internet graph showing Mount Stupid crashing into the Valley of Despair isn't actually what the research found. It's a meme that got attached to real science after the fact. What Dunning and Kruger actually discovered is more unsettling. Confidence stays flat and inflated at low skill levels, and only becomes accurate as real competence increases, meaning you don't need to hit rock bottom to become humble. You just need enough skill to finally see the shape of what you don't know. And this isn't really about smart people versus dumb people either, because intelligence isn't one single thing. It's thousands of separate independent skills, and everyone, including brilliant, highly accomplished people, experiences this effect in whatever specific area they happen to be weakest, whether that's a brilliant surgeon who's dangerously overconfident about his investments, or someone who's genuinely great with money but convinced they're also a great driver, when in reality, they're the worst one in the family. But there is an antidote, and it's almost anticlimactic in how simple it is. The fastest way to shatter this illusion is real exposure to people who are genuinely better than you. Because beginners who only compare themselves to other beginners stay falsely confident, since everyone around them is equally unaware. But the moment someone watches true expertise up close, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. Which is exactly why the most skilled people in any field are usually the quickest to admit, "I still have so much to learn," not out of fake modesty, but because they've actually seen how deep the skill goes. So the real test tonight was never about your intelligence. It was about your self-awareness, and the strangest part of this whole psychological effect is that the people who most need to hear it are the least likely to believe it applies to them. So instead of asking yourself whether you might be one of the stupid ones, ask yourself this instead. What are you currently overconfident about, that you've never actually had the humility to double-check? Drop your honest answer in the comments below.